For years past, Father and Beth gradually regained much of their old strength, yet Bethy seemed more fragile than before, and all but Father acknowledged this. The bonds of friendship with our neighbors, the Lawrences, grew ever stronger until Lori seemed almost one of the family. One member of the Lawrence household seemed truly bent on joining our little family. More disturbing still was the fact that Meg seemed all too willing to oblige his little whim.
What are you doing?
Writing.
Well, I can see that. I mean, what are you working on?
I'm not sure. Although, it may very well become a tragedy depending on what the heroine, decides.
Well, do keep me posted.
I'll do my best.
Will you be using this room much longer?
Why? You expecting someone?
Of course not.
You are! You're expecting that man, aren't you?
Don't be foolish. And if you happen to be referring to Mr. Brooke, you...
Yeah, I knew it. You think you're in love with him.
Well, I hadn't...
Well, I can tell you right now, you're not.
I'm not?
Of course not. I'm a writer, and I write about girls who are in love all the time. So let me tell you, you have none of the signs. You eat well, you sleep fine, and you're never depressed. Clearly you're not in love. So there's no need to go off and do anything foolish like marrying that man.
I don't intend to marry any man.
Really? Well, cheers for you, Meg March.
Well, now.
What do you intend to say to him? You know, it wouldn't be very polite to just send him packing.
Well, I have no intention of being rude. Oh, really? This is silly. Who says the last of my hand at all? All right. If he does, I will just say to him quite calmly and politely, I'm afraid I must agree with Marmee. I'm too young to enter into an engagement right now. But thank you, Mr. Brooke. You are most kind, and I hope that we can continue to be good friends. How's that?
Good and stiff. That should send him off the track. Give him his papers and send him walking.
Oh, it's him, Joe. I just know it.
I'll clear out of the way. Just remember, cool and stiff. Oh, I'd love to see the look on his face. Good afternoon, Mr. Brooke. Meg's been expecting you.
Oh, really? Well, I'd only stopped by because I'd forgotten my umbrella and I thought I might speak with your father, too.
He's in the coat rack. I mean, it's reading the paper. I'll go tell him you're here.
Meg, is something the matter? Have I upset you somehow? Please, don't be angry with me.
How could I be? You've been so kind to our family, I only wish I could find some way to thank you properly.
Shall I tell you how?
Please don't.
Meg, please listen to me. I love you, and even if you don't love me now, perhaps in time you may learn.
I don't choose to learn. Please go away and leave me alone.
Do you really mean that?
Yes, I do.
Won't you just think about it? I'll wait.
I wish you wouldn't. Now, please.
Meg,
What's this? What's going on here?
He's just a friend of Father's. I'm so surprised to see you.
That's evident. There's mischief going on here, and I intend to know what it is.
We were just talking. Mr. Brooke came for his umbrella, you
Brooke!
see.
That boy's tutor. Ah, I see now. He's proposed, hasn't he?
Please, he'll hear you. Shall I call Father?
Have you accepted him? Do you intend to marry this cook?
Please.
Not until I speak my mind. I'll have you know that if you intend to marry this hook or rook or crook, not a penny of my money goes to you.
I shall marry whom I please, Aunt Mark, and you can leave your money to anyone you please.
Now, be a reasonable girl. It is your duty to marry a rich man and help your family. You can be sure that this hook fellow knows you have rich relation, me, and that's why he wants to marry you.
How dare you say such a thing? Why, my John would no more marry for money than I would.
Tidy, aren't we, Miss Independence? Well, you'll be sorry for when you try loving a cottage and find it a failure.
It can't be much worse than what one finds in a big empty house.
Well, I never. You do as you please. You see where my good advice gets me. But you'll be sorry for it. Just remember, the day you marry him is the day I disinherit you. Now, you've made me forget what I've come here for, Miss Insolence. I wash my hands of you. The lot of you.
I couldn't help caring, Meg. Thank you for defending me, and thanks to Aunt March for helping prove that you do care for me at least a little.
I didn't know how much until she said all those dreadful things.
Will you wait for me?
Marmee, come downstairs, come quick! John Brooke is acting dreadfully, and Meg likes it!
John's spring engagement brought about a hailstorm storm of criticism from more people than Aunt March and me, as we were soon to learn.
Run as fast as you can, but I'll catch every one of you. Shocking. Simply shocking. Why, it's a complete disgrace if you ask me.
What is, Mother?
The way she lets her little girls run around hither, thither, and yon like a pack of wild animals. Playing with a boy, no less. As not or appropriate behavior for a young lady in a public place.
Well, I like to frolic and play a bit. Might be more fun than just sitting around and doing needlework.
Or traipsing around town making social calls on people I don't even like.
Stop right where you are, young ladies. Your mother would never tolerate such impudence, and neither shall I. Those are simply not appropriate thoughts for a young lady to think, let alone speak out loud.
But, Mother, we appear to be quite alone here.
Don't talk back to me, Sally Gardner.
Amy? Beth? Joe? Oh, Mrs. Gardner! I'm so terribly sorry. You see, I was just... Will you excuse me, ladies?
I will never allow you or your friends to make a spectacle of yourselves the way Mrs. March does with her motley crew. Clearly, she does not know the proper way for a young lady to enter into a marriage, to secure a good marriage. She's willing to go to any means to achieve her plan.
What exactly are you saying, Mrs. Gardner?
Well, it's all so obvious, my dear child. Surely oh, good Lord, y'all are so innocent to the ways of the world. Surely you can see that Mrs. March is an ambitious woman. Ambitious for her daughters. See, Meg's engagement to Mr. Brooke is just the beginning of her little ploy to ingratiate her family to that of old Mr. Lawrence. Oh, she's got plans for her girls, all right.
Well, our mother says Meg could have made a much better match than Mr. Brooke.
Oh, not at all, my dear, not at all. Mrs. March sees this Lawrence boy as the icing on the cake. He'll make a grand catch for her family. She's simply throwing her remaining 3 daughters to him the way one throws scent to a hound.
I don't think our mother would approve of you referencing to old Mr. Lawrence as some sort of domestic pet. Come now, it's time we returned home.
Your mother may not be sharing her opinions on this affair with you, but you can trust me when I say everyone in town is talking about it. And they've said just as much as I have, if not in more and in less fastidious terms.
Oh, Mother!
Joe? Joe, are you all right? Don't let them bother you, Joe. They don't bother me.
I'm not upset, I'm angry. Good and angry. Why, I get spit tax. Marmee doesn't have plans for us, does she?
I got you. Well, I said I would catch every one of you, but I didn't think it would be this easy. What's the matter? Why aren't you hiding?
Maybe we aren't the ones who've been caught. Joe!
Soon summer was upon us, and sooner still was John and Meg's wedding day. Our lives were so full with preparations and plans for the wedding that we scarcely had time to think about the void that would be left in our little house on the day of Meg's departure. But that day came at last, and with it those same feelings of joy and loss that attend the members at most weddings.
Joe, come back. The celebration has just begun. Oh, don't cry, Joe, don't cry. It'll be all right.
No, it won't. Our family will never be the same again.
You still have me, Joe.
I know, and you don't know how much I appreciate that, my dear, dear boy. Now, I've had my silly scene. We should return to the party before we're missed.
Not just yet, Joe. There's something I need to ask of you.
No, Teddy, please don't.
I will, and this time you must listen. The sooner the better. For the both of us.
Say what you like then. I'll listen.
I've loved you ever since I've known you, Joe. Couldn't help it. I've tried to show you, but you wouldn't let me. Now I'm going to make you hear and give me an answer.
Teddy, I've tried to save you this. I'd never meant for you to care for me this way. I tried to keep you from it when I could.
I only loved you the more for it. I've tried to tell you ever since I got back from college.
I know.
I know I'm not half good enough for you, but if you love me, you can make me into anything you please.
I wouldn't change you, Teddy, not for the world. It's you who'd have to change me. You should marry someone lovely and accomplished who'd grace your fine house. I couldn't. I loathe the social world and you enjoy it. I can't get on without my scribbling and you hate it. And then we'd quarrel.
No, we wouldn't.
Yes, we would. We always have. It would be horrid if we were ever foolish enough to...
Mary, no, Joe, it could be heaven if we give it a chance. Please do not disappoint me. Everybody expects it. Grandpa has his heart set in it, and your family too, Joe. I just can't get on without you. Say you will, Joe. Marry me.
I can't. Oh, Lori, I've tried to love you the way you want me to. And I'm so dear and fond of you, and I do love you as a friend. I could never love you as a wife. It would be wrong to say that I do what I don't.
Really and truly, Joe?
Really and truly. I don't believe I'll ever marry. I love my liberty too much to give it up for any man.
Yes, you will. I know you. You meet some no-account, good-for-nothing idiot and fall in love. It's your way. You'll work and live and die for him while I have to stand by and watch. Well, I'll be hanged if I do.
Lori, where are you going? Come back.
To the devil. One day you'll be sorry, Joe March.
Why, Joe, why have you locked yourself away like this? You were missed. John and Meg wanted you to see them off.
Oh, Marmee, I'm sorry. I felt tired and needed to be alone for a while.
Well, okay.
Marmee, what sort of plans do you have for us?
Plans, dear?
Yes. You know how some others have plans for their daughters, wanting them to marry rich men or something? Well, you asked me the other day what my wishes were, and I'll tell you as soon as you tell me what you want.
Well, I suppose I wish I could many of things. No difference from anyone else. I want my children to be loved and admired and respected. I want you to lead good and useful lives. And I pray life sends you as little sorrow as possible. Of course I'm ambitious for you, like any other mother. I'd be happy to see you marry a rich man, if you loved him. But I'd rather see you as a poor man's wife or a spinster than watch you lose your self-respect and happiness in a loveless marriage, even if it made you the queen of the world.
Marmee, thank you.
What's this?
I knew I chose right. I'm never going to marry.
Really, dear?
No, I'll tell you what I want. I want to go away.
Why, Joe?
I thought about it a while, and I need something new. I want to be out seeing and doing. I want to hop a little ways and try my wings.
Well, where do you intend to hop then?
New York. Joe! Amy can help Aunt March. They're more compatible anyhow, and Beth can help too. And I thought I'd go and work at Mrs. Kirk's. She's been looking for someone to help with the children, and it's so much to see and do. I get so many new ideas for my stories.
Joe, dear, be sure you're running to something and not away from something. Or someone. Is it Lori?
Oh, Marmee, he's gotten this romantic rubbish into his head, and I thought it would all blow over, but it's just gotten worse.
But how do you feel about it?
I love him. I love him so dearly, as a friend. I think if I go away for a while, then he'll get over it, and things can get back to the way they used to be. I know I don't want to make a mistake.
You're right, Joe. I think it'll be best for the both of you. I'll write to Mrs. Kirk, and if Father agrees it can be managed, then you shall go.
Oh, thank you, Marmee.
Now come along, dear. Let's see Meg and John off on their honeymoon.
All right, Marmee.
Working at Mrs. Kirk's boarding house was one of the most exhausting and exhilarating experiences that I have known. New York flooded my mind with new sights and new friends, the most important of whom, Professor Fritz Baer, shared so many thoughts and ideals similar to my own that I felt I had found a true kindred spirit. However, in the midst of my newfound fortunes, fate was going to spring a rude surprise which was the consequence of my abominable tongue.
Good afternoon, Miss March. I'll show you right in. Show yourself in, and don't bother to announce me. The most remarkably slow woman I've ever had the misfortune to meet. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Aunt March.
I expect you'll be wanting some tea then. Good gracious, no. I'll have completed my work here, trimmed into town, and finished up all my afternoon calls before you could even have the capability to warm up a pot. Very good, ma'am. Well now, to the point. I'm going to Europe next month, and as you all know, I will need a proper traveling companion.
I'll wire for Joe immediately, Auntie.
Joe? Good heavens, no. I said a proper traveling companion. That one's got such a blunt disposition, she'd put a freeze on all foreign affairs for the next decade. Goodness, no.
But Auntie...
Please, I'm quite decided about this. Amy will accompany me. We're more similar in temperament. Amy is docile and respectful and will receive this opportunity graciously without a sense of entitlement.
But Auntie,
Hush,
I
my
don't...
child. Any excuse would be stuff and nonsense. Besides, my mind is made up. It's time you had a chance to try your talents. Rome would be just the place for you to study your art.
I don't know how to thank you, Auntie.
This will be an exceptional opportunity.
Oh, pish-posh.
Thank you.
Nonsense, nonsense, my dear. Well, I'm off to town now to begin our preparation. You'll call on me tomorrow, child, so we can begin compiling your traveling wardrobe.
Yes. Thank you.
Europe will do a world of good, child. A world of good.
Goodbye. Oh, Marmee. Oh, poor Joe.
Aunt March is quite decided. It would be wrong of us to try and change her decisions. It seems there'll be no one doing things for Joe this time.
But she'll be so dreadfully disappointed. How will I ever make it up to her?
Let's not spoil your good fortune with those concerns right now. Joe will have her reward someday and it will be every bit as unexpected and wonderful as yours.
Oh, Father's right. No reproaches and no regrets. Before you sail, you can stop by in New York and see her personally if that'll help.
Yes, Marmee, that would be a comfort.
I hate to be selfish, but I'm glad Joe isn't traveling quite so far away just yet. It's already hard enough with her off in New York.
Yes, dear. I know.
Well, enough conversation for now. We have some preparations to begin.
Amy's visit was a comfort for both of us. Her gentle ways and thoughtful words did much to ease the pain of losing my long-anticipated European tour. Aunt March informed me that Lori and Mr. Lawrence had also booked passage to the continent. However, during those long days before they set sail, no calling card from my dear Teddy ever arrived. Lori's intended slight wounded me every bit as deeply as he had hoped, but no experience in my life had prepared me for the telegram I received several months later. So it was with a strange mix of emotions that I returned home to Concord after receiving that urgent message.
Has Joe arrived yet?
No, child. Your father took the carriage to the station.
Is there anything you can do to help right now?
Land sakes, no. Just little enough for me to do as is.
The house has been so empty with Joe gone and now Amy off, and
Oh, is the telegram been sent?
Straight away, same day as Miss Josephine's. Already headed home she was, but too long and costly a trip, your parents wouldn't allow it. Plus, that would be unfair to Aunt March, as if that Biddy would ever care about about anyone other than her own self.
poor dear.
She must be heartsick.
And that she is, but Mr. Lawrence said word that he and Lori would meet her niece and hopefully be able to provide comfort.
I'm sure they will, and Lori is such a comfort.
Joe,
Oh, Joe, you're here at last.
the house has been so empty without you.
Let's go put a kettle on, Hannah, and I'll go fetch Marmee.
Father, I feel so low. There must be something we can do.
Nothing. It's just a matter of time now, Joe. There. You mustn't let her see us cry. The most important thing is for us to be brave for her sake.
I'll be brave for Bethy. I will.
I know you will. I can never doubt you for a moment, my brave, brave girl.
Oh, Marmee.
Joe, dear. It's so good to have you home again.
Beth, my Bethy.
Joe, I long to see you and hear you are just like I dreamed. If Amy were here, we'd all be together again.
Oh, Beth.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Yes, John, you're right. We should be getting back to the twins now. I'll bring them around for a visit in the morning if you'd like.
Yes, I'm so eager to see them.
until tomorrow then.
Farewell, Mr. Burke.
Bye. Oh, Beth, I've got so much to tell you, I hardly know where to begin.
We'll leave you two to your catching up then.
Good night, my girls.
Marmee.
Good night, Joe.
Good night, Father.
Good night, Mommy.
Good night, Beth.
Good night, Father.
Okay, presents first.
Oh, Joe.
Here you are.
You're so thoughtful.
Wind it up. Thought I could accompany you while you play, since I'm not around to croak along with you anymore.
Oh, Joe. I don't play anymore.
Oh, I almost forgot to tell you what I've been working on. A book.
A whole novel?
Yep.
Oh, may I read it?
Oh, I don't have it on hand right now. I finished it right before I left.
No. When will it be published?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't leave it with the publisher. I left it with Professor Bear.
You must be awful fond of him.
I am. He's the reason I wrote the book. He's the one who told me that I should write about the people, places, and things that I know instead of a bunch of made-up people and places I've never seen.
Well, did you?
Yes, Bethy, I did.
What's your book about then?
You, Bethy. Well, all of us, really. My little family and all our happy memories here.
Joe, it's all right. You don't have to cry.
I'm not crying, not really. I'm just so lonesome. Lonesome for Meg and Amy and all the times we used to share.
It's all right, Joe. You don't have to be brave. Don't tell Father or Mommy, but I know. I haven't wanted to tell anyone, but you, my Joe, I can feel myself slipping away a little each day, like the tide going out.
Please don't say it, Bethy.
It's all right. Isn't that funny, though? Me telling you, me the cricket by the hearth, content to stay at home while you and Meg and Amy all dream of flying away. I think it's my turn to fly away first this time. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't express myself properly.
Oh, Bethy.
But I don't think I was ever intended to live very long. I could never plan what I wanted to do when I grew up because I couldn't stand the thought of leaving home. But I'm not afraid anymore, Joe, because I know that love is the only thing we take with us when we go, and I know I have so much of it. It will make the end easy. But Joe, I think I may be homesick for you, even in heaven.
Oh, Bethy, nothing can part us. Not really, not ever.
It's all right. Just promise you'll take my place for Father and Marmee. They'll need you. Help them through this.
I will, Bethy. You know I will.
Thank you, Joe. I feel I can rest now.
Henceforth, safe across the river, I shall see forevermore a beloved household spirit waiting for me on the shore. Hope and faith born of my sorrow, guardian angels shall become, and the sister gone before me, by their hands shall lead me home. With Beth's passing came the fulfillment of my promise to her, and each passing day filled our thoughts with the brief but special memories of our time with her. Often, I awoke at night thinking Beth had called me, but when the sight of her empty bed brought me to tears, Marmee's arms were always there to gather me up, soothe me with their touch and their silent eloquence. Yet, each day slowly lost some of its bitter pain as her memory was rendered more serene. And with the turning of the seasons, time brought new life and unexpected change into the March household once more.
Joe? Joe! Hannah and I are going over to Meg's to greet the wedding party. Father and John are driving them over straight from the station. I know Amy's eager to see you. She and Lori missed us all so much at their wedding in Nice. Won't you reconsider and come with us?
No, Marmee, I'll be all right. Besides, someone's got to keep the home fires burning until the entourage arrives here. And I'll see Aunt March soon enough.
I suppose. I just worry so. We've all had so much to bear, but I find my mind wandering to you more and more lately. Are you all right, Joe? I know how disappointed you were when Aunt March took Amy in your place, and then, well, Bethy. Yes, Bethy. Is it the marriage, Joe?
Oh no, I'm not upset about that. Things worked out the way they should have. I just felt so lonely lately. Perhaps if Lori had proposed to me now, I might have said yes, just because it means so much more lately to be loved than it used to.
Oh, Joe. Your time will come.
No, I'll never marry.
You've always known what you wanted, Joe, and you've had the courage to follow through. Your time will come soon enough, and it will be right because you've known what you wanted all along.
We better shake out with tail feathers, Miss March, unless you want to miss our arrival.
Yes, Hannah. Joe, dear, put the kettle on and we'll be back with the newlyweds before you know it.
Come in.
Guess who?
Oh, Lori, it's so good to see you. Oh, where is everyone? Hannah and Marmy just sent it
they're
over.
still up next. I wanted to sneak out to see you first. I want to say one thing, and then we'll put it away forever.
You don't need to see it. Say it. It was meant to be.
I know that now.
You're so headstrong and certain then.
Now that things are settled properly, it'll be just like old times around here.
No. We can never get back to the way things used to be. We're not playmates anymore, Teddy. We're man and woman now. But we can be brother and sister and love each other for the rest of our lives.
Yes, Joe, always.
Where is she? Where's my old Joe?
Oh, Amy. Look at you.
Blessed if she ain't soaked from head to foot with the new pair of balls on the boot.
Oh, Joe, can you ever forgive us? We've left you with so many burdens to bear, but never again.
Amy, just look at you. Oh, who'd ever have thought that I'd ever see the day when you'd turn our dear Teddy into a hen-pecked husband?
No welcome home for me, Miss Congeniality.
Poor Aunt March, it's great to have you home.
Not at all, not at all. Look at me, spending all that money on all those foreign doctors, and for what? To come home on a day like today, oh, my rheumatism, you know, Europe is not all they say it is. It's so foreign. They simply refuse to speak to me in English, just babbled on and on. They understood me, they just weren't listening to me. Things are the same all over the world. Oh, I'll go lay some more tea service.
Thank you, Hannah. Well, tell me all about Europe.
What's there to say? Nothing but a wretched collection of ancient, broken-down buildings and filthy, filthy streets.
But in Europe, one finds the dirt so picturesque.
Charmingly put, Mrs. Lawrence.
Yes, my wife does have quite a way with words.
We're all familiar with it, Mr. Lawrence.
Well, tell us what your plans are once you two have settled in.
Well, I don't care if she drove 6 white horses, 8 off gold plates, or wore diamonds every day since Teddy thinks nothing's too good for her.
Oh, Joe, really?
This is for you, Miss Josephine. It just arrived by post.
But I wasn't expecting...
Well, open it, Joe, and let's see what it is.
It's my book!
Oh, Joe!
It's from Professor Bear. A friend of mine here in New York has agreed to publish your wonderful novel. He has great hopes for it. And so it is with deepest regards and best wishes that I send you the first copy. I have never read another piece with such simple truth and beauty. Fondly, Fritz Bear. Your first book.
I'm so proud of you, dear. My Beth by Josephine March.
Read first, Joe.
Oh no, I can't really.
Oh,
Come on, please. Dedicated with love to my sister Beth. My mind drifts back to that Christmas Eve, so long ago, when nothing in our little home seemed wrong, and nothing in the world outside seemed right.